Oh, what fucking games I played yesterday? It was Big Rigs and oh yeah, Corpse Killer. Over the Road Racing. Wow. Boo, booga, booga, boo. Boo. Superman #1. It's possible. That game was really, 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 really fucking bad. But I don't know. I don't know. That's so, you know, obviously this is for entertainment, but this is also so I can sort of decompress all of this and reflect and go, okay, was this that bad? Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. You know, especially, you know. So let's just start with Big Rigs. I do think Big Rigs is that bad. There's a reason why it's infamous, right? It sucks. Like, it looks like shit. It plays like it doesn't even like function almost. And it has like no content. You have 4 vehicles and 4 maps, 3 of which are like the same fucking. It's horrible. It's horrible. We got a Quiet Man fan. Yeah, I wanted to play that, but I couldn't get it to download in time, so I just went, maybe next year. But I do think Big Rigs goes in the shit tier. So the way this tier list works is, since it's for awful games, the top is the most awful, right? Does that make sense? And then it's a scale. Ambivalence is like a game that is like, it has like Drakengard. Drakengard's probably gonna go in ambivalence because like playing that was fucking torture. But there were moments of like, okay, this is a game, you know, and like the story beats and characters are cool. It's like not good, but like I could see, you know. But yeah, Big Rigs is like the easiest shit tier ever. And then also, just for fun, we'll look into these games, see why these games are bad, because sometimes I don't know everything. You probably don't know everything. If you do, why are you watching me? Right, so I did read about this one. So Big Rigs was outsourced to a studio in Ukraine. Rip in peace. And the version I played was re-released this year. And it has like a really shitty launcher. They somehow made a bad game worse. I don't even know how the fuck that's possible. But you know, and all the bugs we saw, the infinite scaling when you go in reverse, ugly ass maps, no collision, the fucking enemy AI doesn't even race. Like, it's a failure on all fronts. But it is funny. There are some games on here that are not funny. They're just bad. That game's funny bad. It's so bad that it's funny. And kind of fun. It's a very unique capsule, I think. Let's see. Let me skim the development real quick. So, it was commissioned by Stellarstone, who was in Santa Monica, and then they outsourced it. It's not fair, sorry. There's always the VOD. It looks good on YouTube. It probably doesn't look as good on Twitch. So apparently the story behind this game, they licensed their game engine to the Ukrainian devs for a big chunk of their company. Wow. See, the publisher sought to release one racing game stock keeping unit. What does that mean? Stock keeping unit. Oh, they were gonna make this 2 games. And they released Big Rigs in a self-described pre-alpha state. Wow. What the fuck? This game was released in 2003 for Windows, and here's the kicker. I didn't even know this. It was distributed exclusively through Walmart. What the fuck is that? And then, who is Titov? Okay, that's the CEO of TS Group. Offered to replace the game with any Activision value title for buyers if you send in your copy, receipt, registration card. Which 20 whole people did. Let's go. Good for them. Yeah. This game just fucking is like not even a game. And you can't even look at it and be like, oh, you know, they had some good ideas. They didn't even have good ideas. They had nothing. So, it just sucks. That is a quintessential shit rating from me. Thank you. Alright. Next. Corpse Killer. I just played this yesterday as well. This is not shit. It's not shit. It's not good, but it's not shit. It's like... Is it dreadful? It's not quite dreadful, even though I got like soft locked, sort of. I'd say it's awful. It's just awful. It's a light gun game for like a bunch of consoles. It was like Sega CD, like fucking Sega Saturn. I was amazed. I was like, I'd never even heard of this game till I just played it. What? Wait a minute. So this is an FMV game. And it's from the same studio that did Night Trap. I've said that like a million times, but they did a bunch of stuff. Corpse Killer appears to be their... Well, no. It's an early game. They love these FMV titles. And apparently it draws its footage from a film called Game Over, which I've never heard of. It's a TV film. It incorporates footage originally shot for several video games. So they just like compiled a bunch of footage they had from these games into a movie. What the fuck? That's crazy. What a weird company. Yeah. We got any other fun facts? The story was dog shit. I liked the acting. It was really hammy. Gameplay was not my favorite, but that's because I was playing it on a pad. I'm sure it's a lot better on a light gun. Who's John Lafia? This was the director. What the fuck? He was best known for co-writing Child's Play. Okay. I guess everybody has their stinkers. They filmed it in the Caribbean. Okay. Shot in Puerto Rico. The actors portraying the zombies wore latex masks. It got re-released. Yeah. Oh, okay. The re-release from like a couple years ago is based on the Saturn re-release. Interesting. Weirdly though, the Saturn version doesn't have light gun support. That's kind of shit, isn't it? But as a game, you know, it's short. The gameplay is pretty repetitive. You're pretty much just you're playing to watch the goofy cutscenes and acting. Which aren't like the funniest thing ever, but it's a fine way to kill an afternoon. You know, it's fine. I think if the gameplay was a little better, it might bump up to unpleasant or ambivalent, but yeah, it's just fine. They didn't put a lot of effort into the mechanics of the shooting and stuff. It's bare bones. So, yeah, it's just fine. Next, Sonic Boom. Wow. This game also fucking sucks. Which is weird because I can tell it has money. These are going to be arranged in your typical try-hard sense from, you know, left to right. So the more left something is in a tier, the higher up it is. And then the more right it is, the lower, you know. So for example, I haven't arranged these yet, but Big Rigs would be the top shit game. And then Sonic. That's how it works. Anyway, Sonic Boom is based on like a TV show, I think, of the same name. And is also like serves as a prequel to the show. Hence the name Rise of Lyric. I think in the show Lyric is the main villain. I haven't watched, but I know people like it. It was originally intended to be a Jak and Daxter style game. Oh, with 4-player gameplay. Oops. Oh. I forgot this was a CryEngine game. That is so weird. A fucking CryEngine platformer? Why? Why? You know, and like the gameplay has different mechanics and concepts. You know, you've got your 2D platforming, which is really slow and dull. It's like a puzzle-based thing. You've got like action-based stuff with like beat-em-up combat. Extremely simple. It's like 2 buttons and then a dodge. And then there's also auto runners, which I think is like the worst part. Like, who the fuck wants to play Sonic auto running? It's like he runs on his own. You don't even like hold forward, and then you just hit like left or right on the D-pad to make him shift. And then sometimes you jump over stuff. Horrible. It's like not even a Sonic game. And then this game also has that problem that some games have where they just never shut the fuck up. You know, like when you're playing a game and an NPC's like, meh, 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 meh. That is that whole game. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I distinctly remember when I was in like a kind of long 2D part where we were releasing Lyric, I had to go through as every character. And at the end of each of their segments, I'd have to hit a thing that would swing a thing around and shine a light into a crystal. And all of them had dialogue about that. Maybe if I hit this crystal, it'll spin around and to light up the thing and open the door. I had to hear that 4 fucking times. Even if you're like a fucking small child, I think you would get it after 2. I don't need it. I don't need to be explained that many times. So, gameplay-wise, it's more competent than some other games on here. But I think design-wise, it's extremely vapid and horrible. Horrible. The cutscenes and stuff, they're fine. I don't think they're very funny, but I get what they're going for. And again, it's probably like the show. But yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. It deserves to go in the shit tier. Sonic. We're going from Sonic 1 to Sonic 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. This game is not that bad. It's not good. But it's definitely not in the shit tier. At all. In fact, I would say it's probably one of the better games I played, despite the jank. And it has like a pretty popular like modding scene that are like fixing up the problems it has. There's probably like a solid 7 out of 10 game buried in there somewhere. Unfortunately, it's buried, so I played what was buried. It's just it kind of plays like a really shitty Sonic Adventure. Like, you've played it, you know what that plays like. It's a 3D Sonic. You know, he doesn't always go on like the loops, or he like flies off. The biggest problem I was having with that game is his turning. So when he's like running fast, I would barely touch the control stick and he'd be like fucking 90-degree angle into a wall. And I'm like, dude. Camera's also not super good. But, you know, it's a bad Sonic game. But it's still better than the Drek I've played here. You know what I mean? It's probably one of the worst Sonic games. But is it like one of the worst games of all time? I don't think so. It's down there for sure, but like, you know, it's not that bad. The story is fucking mumbo jumbo. But again, who the fuck plays Sonic for the story? Don't answer that. So I think it's merely unpleasant. Is it, like playing Sonic 06 is like stubbing your toe in the morning. Ow! And then, you know, after, I don't know, a couple minutes, the pain goes away and you forget about it. That's what Sonic 06 is. It's a minor inconvenience. Sonic Boom is like, I don't know. It's like when I first moved into this place and I was doing my laundry and I opened up the door and was like doing a bunch of stuff and then raised my head quickly and hit the corner of my head so hard I drew blood. That's what Sonic Boom is like. It's like head trauma. Sonic the Hedgehog, that's toe subbing at worst. Like, it's not so bad. And it's funny. You know, I think funny does get you bonus points. Not really in Big Rig's case, because it's so fucking bad, but there's something to be said about a bad game that's funny that makes it a little bit more entertaining. Like, you know, I'm a huge Deadly Premonition fan. That game sucks. But it's so good to me. For many reasons. One of which being the story. The story is actually pretty good in that game. You know, the gameplay's not great. I think it shits on like 90% of these games, but you know, there's an X factor of entertainment for sure. Next, Superman. Whoa, buddy, this game fucking sucks. This game sucks so bad I thought it killed my fucking hard drive. How, like, how much fucking worse could a game be than to literally kill my computer? I'd love to know. Actually, let's rewind a bit. I want to see if there are any fun facts for Sonic 06. Because those are fun. There's always an interesting story behind these awful games. Let's see. Sega insisted on shipping it in time for the 2006 holiday shopping season and released it unfinished to coincide with the 15th anniversary. Wow. I didn't realize 06 was an anniversary game. Yikes. They sought to create an appealing game in the vein of superhero films, such as Batman Begins. Oh. Yuji Naka. Isn't this, Balan Man? Yeah, it is. He also got arrested for insider trading. Fucking bozo. That's crazy, though. That's 2 games on this list that are from him. Yikers. He quit to form his own company during this game, funny enough. But, man, talk about... What would be the opposite of, like, the Hand of Midas? It's like the Hand of Crap. It's like everything you touch is just, like... fucking poop. That's what he has. It's widely considered the worst Sonic game. Y'all need to play Sonic Boom. They delisted it from retailers. Wow. In 2010, Sega delisted this game from retailers following its decision to remove all Sonic games with below average Metacritic scores to increase the value of the franchise. Wow. Sega is so weird about Sonic, man. Look, bro, if you want to fucking outsource your shit, you gotta own that. If it's shit, you're the one who outsourced it, buddy. You don't just get to rewrite history. Anyways, fuck Sega. Back to Superman. Superman 64. This game is... I can't even, like, fucking formulate thoughts on how bad this game is. Like, the gameplay that you always see is him flying through the rings. That's the good part. What the fuck? You remember those missions in, like, GTA where you have to drive, like, the fucking stupid RV, like, helicopter or, like, plane? Those missions suck. That's, like, the good part of this game. What the fuck? This is apparently based on the cartoon. And is the first 3D game featuring Superman? Oh my god. Did they ever blow it? Wow. Apparently you battle villains such as Brainiac, Mala, that's who I was fighting, Metallo, Darkseid, and Parasite. I don't even know who half those are. But I'm not a big DC head. So development began in 97 and was hindered by constraints between the dev company and the licensors, which are Warner Bros. And DC. This game had strong sales. What the fuck? That's so sad. Yeah, so not only does it control like shit, it looks like shit. I distinctly remember the draw distance in that game literally is like Silent Hill 1 levels. Which, okay, fine. That's fine. When you plan around it. They had you fucking flying around in it. That would be like driving your car in like quarter-mile visibility fog. And then, like, they're like, you gotta drive through these rings. Motherfucker, I can't even see the rings. They haven't spawned yet. And again, that's the good part. That's the good part of the game. That's the good part. The bad part is everything else. The on-foot controls. I don't even think I can describe to you how awful that controls. He has, like... He's like a fucking Resident Evil protagonist. He has tank controls. He's fucking Superman. Why does Superman have fucking tank controls? It doesn't make any sense. And then he has like super basic melee combat, which the game insists upon you using. You have a button to punch, which I think he has a 2-hit combo. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. That's it. And then he has block. And that's it. And sometimes you have to fist fight bosses. That's what I was fist fighting Mala. I don't know if it's because I was emulating it or if the game really is that fucking shit. I was fist fighting her at, I swear to God, like 5 FPS. It was insane. Insanely bad. And then, like, I'm trying to do that level and I'm like picking up enemies and trying to throw them. And they're blowing up and injuring me. Motherfucker, I'm super... Why does Superman have a health bar? Did you guys do the homework? Do you know what Superman is? For fuck's sake. Or does everyone have kryptonite on them in this game? So stupid. Yeah, so the concept is you're in like a stupid VR thing that Lex Luthor put him in. That's why you have to fly through rings so much. Game was in dev for 2 years. What on earth? Let's read the development. I'm sure this will be good. This guy called and secured the rights from WB. Excuse me. He recalled that Warner Bros. Asked, quote, 3 times if I was sure what I was doing. There was that fucking supposed to be a PlayStation and Game Boy version. The development team for each port consisted of 2 programmers and 6 to 9 artists. What the fuck? Okay, so apparently there's a Game Boy one, and that was released. His initial plan for the game was to feature a 3D open world action adventure game like Tomb Raider that incorporated real-time strategy elements, allowing players to behave as a superhero. He said, quote, it would stretch the 64 to its limits, feature Superman's ability to fly and fight, and include all of his superpowers. And it was too ambitious. No shit. Less than 10% of the original design made it into the final product. Jesus Christ. A few days after they finalized the deal, the licensing team changed at Warner Bros. And the new group hated him and the project and tried to halt development. They first demanded he transform it into a SimCity style game where Superman would act as the mayor. What? Warner Bros. Became increasingly coercive after Titus rejected the idea, disregarding any decisions made by the French dev. Their rationale for rejection was that Superman would never engage in the activities Titus proposed. Elements that survived, such as him swimming, were retained only after staff members presented documentation from the original Superman comics that Superman could swim. Changes were mandated to ensure that Superman was portrayed positively. So they had to limit his powers and remove destructible architecture. And it was set in a virtual world to prevent him from harming real people. I see. That's why that suddenly makes so much more sense. The ring stages were initially intended as tutorials that became a regular part of gameplay due to other changes. It took the company months to get every single character approved. resulting in an inability to address bugs and issues related to collision detection and controls. Towards the end, Nintendo provided technical support. Okay. Well, there you go. Behind every shit game is usually a pretty interesting story like that, especially for licensed games. Let's see. So 64 bombed. They entrusted someone called Blue Sky Software. Looks like they just made a bunch of really old shit. They were going to redesign it for PlayStation. Sony approved it, however the license from Warner Bros. Expired and they couldn't, or they rather wouldn't, secure a new one. Warner Bros., quote, forced us to kill the PlayStation version. The company planned to pay Tidus a litigation settlement as compensation for its abusive behavior towards the dev. A build was uploaded to Mediafire in 2020. Cool. So apparently it's out there. You can play it. Apparently the game sold... Oh, that's important. They projected it would sell around 1 million. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is that bad. It is a horrible game. But at least we have a reason now. It fucking sucks. I don't... The only positive thing I can say about it is that the character models look like the cartoon. They look pretty alright. That's it. That's the only positive thing I can say about that piece of fucking garbage. Anyways, enough about Superman. We have more games. Quest 64. I kind of like this game. I kind of like it. It's not like the best game I've ever played. But it's okay. It's a really... Like, if this were a JRPG tier list, yeah, it'd probably be towards the top of shit. But it's not. It's, you know, it's got very bland environments. The story is like something a 10-year-old wrote up. But I think the magic system and the combat are okay. They're not like revolutionary, but there's some interesting ideas in there. I like the idea of slowly, what do I want to say? Unlocking stuff. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's not... I don't like it that much, but I expected a lot worse. That's a game that you hear a lot of shit about. It's like, oh, it's one of the worst 64 games. It's one of the... Brother, the fact that Superman 64 and Quest 64 are on the same console and on the same tier list, no. They are like a gulf apart. They are nowhere near as bad as each other. Let's see if there's any funny stories for Quest 64. The North American and PAL releases of the game were considered too short and easy, so they added events and tightened some of the gameplay for the Japanese localization. Alright, that's kind of a fun fact. Usually, in my limited knowledge, we tend to get the super versions of Nintendo games. Like, they used to come out there first, and then we'd get the ones that have the bugs fixed and the quality of life added. But this one seems to be the opposite, strangely. Yeah, it's really not that bad. It's bad, for sure, but it's not... It functions, it has ideas, you know, it's not that bad. A game that is bad, however, Sub-Zero. Yeah. This game ain't it. This game ain't it. At all. It's pretty fucking bad. Is it as bad as these? I don't think so. But it is bad. It is very bad. Because this is one of those games that's bad and hard. A game that has kind of like shit controls and shit platforming and shit combat that's hard. And also has like no checkpoints and insane... The boss battles in that game are like... It's like having mace sprayed in my face. They're like so weirdly hostile. What was that Win guy's name? I gotta look him up because that was like one of the most bullshit bosses I think I've ever fought in a video game. What's his name? Fujin. What the fuck was that character? Horrible. Let me describe to you what that character does. That boss does. Okay, this is after an entire level of like awful platforming. Like you're platforming on like 3D elements that spin around in a 2D game, so you have to like try and guess the game's like intended depth perception. So you have to get the timing just right. Again, there's no checkpoints. So if you miss the jump, you just die. And I think you have like 2 lives where you have to start over from the beginning. So you're trudging through that. You finally get to the end. You're like, woohoo! Uh-oh, a boss. Because the point of the game is you're supposed to go to the 4 elemental realms or some shit to stop Quan Chi's god or whatever. And so this is, I think, the second one. Because Earth was the first one. Or Fire? No, it was Earth. And this dude, he literally feels like a fucking SNK boss. Like, he reads your inputs and shit. It's insane. And again, this is after a tough as nails, like, platforming level. He has, like, a command grab that comes out in maybe a second. So can you react to a command grab in a second when Sub-Zero moves like, I don't know, a grandma with a shit-filled diaper? Probably not. Probably not. So you're supposed to sort of premeditate when he's going to do that. But a lot of times he'll just sit there and wait for you to do something. So you go, okay, I'll just jump out of it. Well, if you jump, he can like Superman dash into you in like a quarter of a second and just go poof. Same with dive kicks. He has those too. So you have to try and get his AI to fuck up by slowly walking backwards. And then he'll slowly descend. And you can get a few hits in that way. So you have to deal with that stupid, essentially 50-50 bullshit for most of his life. And then when you finally beat him, this fucking guy is like a Ninja Gaiden 2 boss. You remember that armadillo in that shitty game? I do. Because when you beat him, he blows up and can kill you. And then you have to do the whole fucking fight again. That's what this guy does. He does that. Except instead of a fucking explosion, it's a tornado. So it pulls you in. So you have to run to the edge of the fucking arena. You don't know this. You don't know this. You just have to find out when he sucks you up and instantly kills you at the end. After you beat him. You have to run to the edge of the fucking arena and run away from it long enough for you to outlast him. Otherwise, he just sucks you up and you have to do the whole fucking thing again. Game fucking sucks. And then you saw the sewer level. The sewer level. It all looks the fucking same. It all looks the same. It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. But it's unique, right? Is it a good unique? Mostly not. But I can look at it and go, there's not a lot of games like that, right? Like if they shave the difficulty down probably 30-40%, that could be a cool fucking game. Also, more importantly, I think if it wasn't a Mortal Kombat game, because I think Mortal Kombat is really stiff. It feels like shit. Like, if this were like any other fighting game, this could have been cool. This could have been a cool game. I think the FMV cutscenes are cool. Unfortunately, the version I played on the 64 can't do those. So you just get a JPEG of Quan Chi making the same face fucking 4 times. So that also was really ass. I think just based on that alone, the PS1 version is probably at least a tier or 2 up, because the FMVs are pretty entertaining. But yeah, that if you, let's just say you kidnapped someone, don't tell me, I don't want to be implicated, and you wanted to torture them, make them play that game. Say you'll be released when you beat that game. They'll be the happiest fucking victim in like 24 hours you've ever seen. They will do anything. Thankfully, I had the free will to not continue playing that game. But there's power. There's power in that evil, evil fucking game. Anyways, fuck it. Fuck Mythology Sub-Zero. Maybe we got some good fun facts. What do you think? Some people love it. I don't know why. Maybe it's like ironic. 14 months dev. Yeah, that's not bad. Cinematic sequences. The video shoot for the sequences took about a week to complete. The crew was kept to a minimum, and the entire process from taping to post-production took about a month for the FMVs. Yeah, that explains a lot. Anyways, it's Dong Dong time, baby. This game is kind of sick. This game doesn't even deserve to be on this list, so it's not going to be. Well, I guess I could add one more tier. Add a row below. No, it's not. I added that in because I didn't know. It's good. Well, I'm not going to say it's good. It's a joke game and is aware of itself. The animations are really funny. All the characters have unique play styles. Yeah, it's cool. It's a funny game. It's a funny game. I don't know if I would play it over like a real fighting game. If I wanted like a serious, like, ooh, 1v1. But as like something funny you put on and like laugh at for an afternoon, that's a good one. You hook 2 controllers up, you'll be laughing your ass off. And I think the devs had fun making it too, you can tell. Because like, all the moves are stupid, all the voice acting is stupid, it's so good. It's so good. I rated that one a 7. So, like, it's good. Sorry, Dong Dong. Yeah. Move on to the shitty ones. Balan. Oh, God. You want to talk about a not fun game? This is Let me think. I don't know which is more boring. Probably Balan. This is probably the most boring game on this list. This game is like so fucking boring. It's so boring. And it's lazy. You know, the QTE like cutscenes. I saw the same fucking cutscenes. And I only played for like what, an hour and a half? 2 hours? How the fuck is that game fucking 11 hours long? What the but I do have to say the music, very high quality in that game. Far higher than the game's production. So that gets it points. And I do think the pre-rendered cutscenes are beautiful. They're stupid most of the time, but they look pretty good. So like, I think if they didn't this is once again another outsourcing. They outsourced the fucking game. And had like a higher level of control over it. It could have been fine. But it wasn't. And also, again, point and laugh at that guy for A, having 2 fucking games on this list. And B, getting caught for insider trading. Let's look at the dev. This is a lot. Naka and Oshima. Naka is that guy. Who's Oshima? Oh, he was the Sega artist who did the designs for Sonic and Eggman. I see. Wow. Yeah, it sounds like everyone was an asshole in this project. Because he was removed early, and he said the game was, you know, released to unfinished. But then, an employee said that this Naka guy, who again was like the creator of Sonic in this, and Knights, I think. He wanted this company to work an additional 2 months for free to address his problems with the game. And then abuse staff during conflicts. So, yeah. Fuck that guy. Clown. It's just, it is like the most boring platformer you've ever played. So I get that it and Quest 64 are probably like trying to appeal to children. But children are not that dumb. I never ever think using, well, it's for children is an appropriate defense of a work. Like, children's movies can still be good. I don't expect to like engage with them in an existential, you know, like a deep way, but they can still be good. So yeah, I just think that's a really lazy way of defending things. You know, like Nintendo has tons of things that kids can play, but they still have like hidden depth or, you know, something. These are just bland, and then they go, well, it's for kids. Well, kids aren't that fucking stupid, I hate to tell you. Maybe you'd know that if you weren't working on games for fucking 5 years straight and never saw your kids. Dumb fuck. But yeah, Balan, literally, you move with the control stick. You jump with 1 button. Pretty normal, right? Okay. All of the other buttons on your controller are dedicated to a power. And you get these powers by putting on a costume. So you put on the costume, and then when you press the button, you do the costume's power. And that is the entire gameplay of Balan Wonderworld. So basically, it's Super Mario Odyssey for like a lobotomite, right? Because he does the same thing with Cappy. But there's a lot more going on in Odyssey. This has like really bland levels, really bland powers. Like, I only played for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Half of the powers I got, I would press it and it would be a jump with like a damaging effect to it. So when I jumped into things, I killed them. Wow, what an interesting fucking power. Super cool. Shit. Yeah, I think this is far worse than Corpse Kill. I don't think it's quite as bad as Sub-Zero, but it's pretty bad. Okay. I've done what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. A little under halfway through. That's fine. That's fine. Ride to Hell. I'm so glad I finally got to play this game. I don't know if I would say it's fun. It's funny. It's funny. Definitely. It goes somewhere and shit. I'm not sure where. It's just like so lame. This is like one of the lamest games I think I've ever played. It insists it's fucking cool. No, this is cool. At no point was Ride to Hell cool. And it's got, it's got like fucking extreme violence and like leather bikers, rock music, like sex. It was so, all of it was so fucking lame. It was so lame. Which is too bad because I actually think that's kind of an underexplored setting, right? Like biker culture. You could actually do something kind of cool with that if you knew what the fuck you were doing, which these devs clearly didn't. And like the start of the game, they're clearly trying to set up something. Again, with like a gang murder. Your little brother gets murdered. You're like, whoa, what are we gonna do? You're gonna do the same thing for like 10 fucking hours, which is do shitty motorcycle missions where you drive around your shitty motorcycle, and then you're gonna do shitty shoot 'em, beat 'em up sections. And that's it. The shooting feels like shit. The driving feels like shit. The melee combat feels like shit. The sex scenes are all clothed and repeat animations. No. No, 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 no. Stinky, stinky shit poopy diaper game. Unbelievably bad. Maybe we can get some nuggets from development. Oh, I do remember, I think they intended for this to be a trilogy. God bless him. God bless him. Yeah, the voice acting was also really bad. It so bad. Buggy, glitchy, shitty mess. It's originally conceived as an open world game. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, and the DLC, oh my god, the DLC, if I could rate the DLC separately, it would probably be right behind Superman. That DLC was fucking abhorrent. No one on Earth has probably played the Ride to Hell DLC, but I did. And it was somehow worse than the fucking base game. There's nothing here that interesting, but it's hilarious. That's the only thing that kept me going. Every cutscene was like a new disaster to watch unfold. Where does it go on here, though? I mean, Sonic Boom is like more of a game. Is it as bad as Big Rigs? I'm really thinking. I guess not, because it, you know, like, if you think about a game, so, like, as a product, Ride to Hell, you know, has, like, a story with, like, a beginning and a middle and an end, and, like, there are story beats, and, you know, like, there's gameplay, there's, like, different kinds of gameplay, none of them are good, but, like, Big Rigs has one kind of gameplay, right? Superman has multiple too, but you heard me. Yeah, I think it's there. This is fun. I'm having fun getting to rant and rave about all this shit I played. So, Drake, I think I need to reassess this because I played this pretty early in the month. It's a Drake of, yeah, Drake of the 99 Dragons. It's, well, I don't know. Because I was like, maybe I was too harsh. I have it up here in the shit tier. I think it is still shit. Yeah, it's probably on like the high end of shit. You know, it's just it's weird because it's like a fucking, you know, it's like a John Woo, what do I want to say? Max Payne style third-person shooter, but most of the time it was better to just not use the bullet time. So, and then like the boss battles were like super bad, and then the platforming was like super, yeah, it sucks. The thing that made me go, oh, maybe it's not so bad, was the cutscenes were really funny. But so they were in Ride to Hell. So, yeah, that's not good enough, I'm afraid. It's big shit. But where? It's definitely not as bad as Superman or Big Rigs. Is it? I think it's better than Ride to Hell. But I still think Sonic Boom is probably, like, ever so slightly better. Sonic Boom as a game is, like, competent, is the thing. These are all, like, buggy, crazy pieces of shit. Sonic Boom's problem is that it is, like, the most vapid product, like, focus-tested, awful shit stain ever created. Like, I can hear the executives when I play this game. That's its problem. Like, functionally, it works. Which, again, I cannot literally say about these other 4 games. There were times in all of these games where I would, like, press a button, and the button wouldn't do the thing. That's kind of the whole point of a video game, right? So, you know, there are different levels of bad, I guess. Let's see if there are any fun facts about Drake. I think the fact that it's an original Xbox game is very interesting. Don't forget, this was the game where when you die, your character would, like, respawn, but you'd have to listen to the statues be like, oh, this guy fucked up, this guy fucked. That was horrible. Undead Assassin. Oh yeah, and then also it had like sequel bait at the end. That was so funny. Let's see, development. Stockholm based. Was inspired by a fusion between John Woo and Batman the Animated Series. Anything of interest here? Not really. We don't know a lot about the dev. Yeah. It's funny, though. It gets points for being funny. We like funny games. Mind's Eye. Hey, I just played that not that long ago. That's from this year. Don't let them tell you bad games don't still come out, because they do. However, I'm going to blow your mind, because I didn't think it was that bad. It was bad, but was it this bad? It definitely doesn't go up here with Dong Dong. I'll tell you that. Dong Dong's the gatekeeper. You got to be a Dong, and you're not beating it. Nope, it's not ambivalent. It's not unpleasant. It's worse than that. It's probably here and awful. I think it's worse than Corpse Killer. I think Balan is worse than Mind's Eye. For $70 it's ass. That's true. But I think its greatest problem is it's just boring. It's just like Balan. Like, I can tell money went into them, but they're just so sterile. Kind of like Sonic Boom as well. But Sonic Boom is like, I don't know. You know that part in Powerpuff Girls where he's like stirring to make them and then he gets the X juice? That's what Sonic Boom is. They got the fucking bad doo-doo juice in the focus tested crap mix. You know, most of my memories of playing that game are you driving from mission to mission. You would spend like 3 to 5 minutes in between missions driving in a super bland, faux open world. Also, are you sure it's 70? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. It's normally 60. Which still is a lot, don't get me wrong. But, you know. Like, the shooting was also not very good. But compared to, like, Ride to Hell, oh my god. The shooting in that was amazing. Like, holy shit. The reason why I rate it as highly as I do is I think the script and like the quality of the cutscenes were fairly cinematic. Like, I think if the gameplay was a little better, this would be a cult classic game. I actually think that. I think this would be like a 6 out of 10 game that some people never shut up. Oh, it's an underrated gem. You guys gotta play this. When it goes on sale for $12 on Steam, you gotta play this. It's close to that. Unfortunately, the gameplay is not good, which is most of the reason why you play a game, right? Maybe if it was a movie, it would be better. But I think this is one of those games that had like a really troubled production, because they wanted it to be everything, right? Let's see. Let's check the dev. Let's see. Leslie Benzies. Who are you? Former president of Rockstar North. Excuse me. Right. I know this was like the main shit talker man. It was created as a proof of concept for Everywhere, a game creation tool. It was envisioned as a premium experience set entirely within the free-to-play Everywhere platform. Then they said it would be an episodic game, and each episode would be set in different time periods and parts of the universe. Sounds like maybe they were a little too ambitious. Especially because, like, they're, like, insisting that it was a GTA clone. I think management is the main issue behind this game, to be honest. Some games, like Superman, that was definitely, like, you signed a deal with the fucking devil, and then he took your soul. This, I think, was just mismanaged. To hell. But, you know, I don't think the devs were necessarily that bad. I think this was one of those games where management was like changing what it was. You know, like, oh, this month I want it to be a musical. This month I want it to be a hero shooter. You know, that's what I mean. I think this game suffered from that a lot. And don't get me wrong, it still sucks ass. But there is a sparkle of a game that could have been there, I think. And that's why I rate it as highly as I do. At awful. I know. Please hold your applause. I know. Now this one, I might catch some heat for it. That's fine. I'll break your neck. I've played it. You haven't. I have. I played it. I lived it. You guys are shit game tourists. I live in the shit. I am the shit. Okay? And that's Gollum. This game got made fun of so much. And it's funny, so it kind of deserves it. But this is another game that's kind of, there's like, where on the spectrum is it? Is it better than Corpse Killer? I think it's better than Corpse Killer. It is not that bad. It's bad. It's a stealth platforming game. And I'll tell you why everyone says it's as bad as it is. And that's because the intro few hours to this game are horrendous. It's you obviously you're playing as Gollum, right? You spend it in prison. I don't know why the fuck they thought you would want to play that, but you basically are like doing his day-to-day like prison chores. Hang on, I just noticed the mouse isn't showing up. There you go. I don't know why that matters to me, but there you go. So, you know, he's like moving rocks. He's like, it's so stupid. At one point, you are in like some office and you have to like hatch a dragon. It was some sort of mythical creature. That part was really bad. But then he has like a friend that's with him, and that's not so bad. I think once you get to like the part where you break out of the prison, it gets a lot more like a game, and less like a what the fuck am I doing? Because like I said, I forget where you go for the second biome. It's outside, and then the third biome you go to like this elven place, which is actually pretty cool. So like I don't think a lot of people played this game. So again, you have stealth, you have platforming. There are sections where you have to argue with yourself. Gollum argues, and you have to try, well, you don't have to try. You pick which one you want to support. So you want to support Smeagol, or do you want to support Gollum? And then depending on which one you want to support, you basically have a schizophrenic conversation with yourself to convince him to like, oh, we're gonna betray this guy, or oh, we're gonna work with this guy, or we're gonna turn this guy in. Shit like that. That only happens a couple times, and it's not really that impactful. But I think conceptually, that is fascinating. That could have been something really cool. And that's why I'm soft on this game, because it has good ideas, they just don't fucking do them right. I'm pretty sure the game has different endings too. Like, because you start to work with like NPCs towards the end, and like you can like I think you're in a ruins, and like these ruins fall on a character, and you can like help them or leave them to die and shit like that. It's kind of compelling. There's something there. But playing it is ass, and it's buggy, and it's glitchy. But that's why I'm a little softer on that game than most people, because I can see behind the veneer of the 7-year dev hell cycle. It could have been something. It could have been something. Maybe not like the greatest game, but a very unique game. But also, why? Right? Like, who pitched this idea? All I can figure is maybe the license for Gollum was not like that hard to get. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know. And I think this was also the studio behind like other weird stealth action games like Styx. I think this is that same studio. Oh yeah, it's a bird. It's not a dragon. Sorry. And there's like some OC characters in there that have kind of cool designs. It could, you gotta believe me, guys. It could have been something. It could have been something. It wasn't, but it could have been. And the ending, like I said, is cool because, you know, you can like help or betray the elf. Eventually, he tries to find the Shire to like track down the ring, right? And he gets stuck in the mines because of like a concept of like elvish words that was laid down as a story thing. And I think the word that unlocks it is the elvish word for friend. And that was like a story theme. You wouldn't get it. You didn't play it. I did. It was almost... There was something. Anyways. You gotta believe it. It's good. You gotta believe it. It's not good. It could have been good. That's what I'm saying. Alright. Now, a game that's not really good is Devil's Third. So, in the game's defense, I do think it feels better to switch from shooting to melee than that game we discussed a few weeks ago that your brother bought, Trog. Killer is Dead. Is that what that fucking game is called? Yes. Man, that's 10 years old. Right. It's like a game. No, it's not Killer is Dead. Sorry. That's a Grasshopper game. I don't know. It's the one with the 99 red balloons. That's all I remember from it. But it was really, 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 really boring. Really boring. Which is weird considering the people behind it and the concepts. It was essentially a fucking action third-person shooter with like Metal Gear Solid storytelling. Wanted. Thank you. You know, you were like part of a gaggle of freaks and you have to like go track them all down and kill them one by one. That's very Metal Gear, right? None of them are interesting. Your main character is not interesting. I'm like, what are we doing here? How do you make that not interest? That's like, you pick that to make interesting characters, and they didn't. The gameplay is just, you know, it's sound, but it's so boring. It's a very flat feeling game. But, you know, it's functional. It does what it set out to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't do it well. Yeah. It's just really, really boring. I could not believe how bored I was playing that game. That's kind of all I have to say about it. Which is disappointing because it's fucking Itagaki, who's like one of the strangest, weirdest designers out there. I don't know if he was like sedated when he was making this game or what, but it's super boring. Let's skim the development here. It was originally intended as an Xbox 360 exclusive. And then he met with somebody at THQ who were going to publish it. But they were bankrupted. Oh my god, this game's really going through it. So they had the game and no partner. THQ sold all their IP, but Devil's Right was given back to Valhalla, which is the name of the studio. Even though THQ was bankrupt, the CEO continued to act as a creative consultant on the title. What? Then they worked with South Korean company Dubik. Who the fuck? To produce and publish the title. They also promised a multi-platform release, including mobile and PC. Although Dubik also went out of business. Holy fuck! Setting back the development even further. The setbacks caused by the collapse of THQ and Dubik landed the game in development hell. Then the CEO of Valhalla approached Satoru Iwata, who agreed to publish it for Wii U. Nintendo decided to publish it because, quote, they don't have enough strong online games. Right, that game had, like, PvP multiplayer. And it wasn't, quote, a game Nintendo could make internally. Okay. Then Devil's Third switched engines. Oh my god, they switched engines because the company responsible for making the original engine closed down. This is like the most cursed fucking game of all time. That is 3 companies associated with this fucking game that died before it even came out. What the fuck? Then the game was on Unreal 3. Apparently it was released on Windows in Japan as well. What the fuck? Oh my god, this is fascinating. This game had so many problems. Game was not featured at E3. And then its North American eShop listing disappeared without explanation. It was revealed by Siliconera that Nintendo of America decided not to publish the game, although it was still confirmed for North American release. Although it didn't have an alternate publisher at that point. Nintendo had, quote, lost faith in the title. Sorry, lost faith. Much like the Wii title disaster, Day of Crisis. Later, Nintendo revealed they would be sharing more info about Devil's Third, but did not state whether or not they would be publishing it in North America. Nintendo America did indeed drop publishing duties, but had since reconsidered due to backlash. Then they announced they are publishing Devil's Third. And that the multiplayer mode of the game on PC would be released from Valhalla as a free-to-play game. Unlike NOE Europe, Nintendo of America did not send advance copies to journalists. They could only begin reviewing once it went on sale. That's usually not a good sign. GameStop only received 420 copies to sell on their online store for the entire United States. Wow. I almost feel bad. I think Itagaki got fucked. He really must have some, like, karmic balance shit going on with that game. Because that's, like, that's insane. Either that or he made a deal with, like, the worst companies ever who just died. 3 companies died, and then the 4th one you signed with said they didn't want to publish it until consumers got so pissed off that they wanted you to release it anyways. So you did, but you barely published anything. Jesus. That's rough. All right, next. You know it. I know it. I love it. I hate it. It's ambivalent. It's Drakengard. I hate that game. Those Dynasty Warrior sections are so fucking boring and bad and went on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And the flying sections were alright till you got to the bosses at the end, and that was fucking shit. It's just, it's stinky, man. But it's also genius. I think it's the quintessential Yoko Taro game, frankly. It doesn't really get more Yoko Taro from the games I played, admittedly, than that game. It is the shit gameplay. It is the peak story and characters. That is it. Like, I don't know, you know, I haven't played Drakengard 3. I haven't played the mobile game, Nier. There's a few, you know, especially like his earlier titles, I have no idea. But like, I don't know if his characters ever get quite as insane as they do in that game. Again, your cast of characters is a mute murderer, a fucking pedophile, a person who eats babies and children, and a cowardly priest. And then your villain is a possessed child. Like, the man figured out his formula early, I guess. Right? Anyways, Drakengard, it's pretty... It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. I don't regret playing it. Until I do, but I mostly don't. Alright. Yeah, we're getting to the big stinkers now. Well, we already have some big stinkers, but the CDI stinkers. Link and the Faces of Evil. I have to look at the title to see what NPCs are in this. My cakes will burn. Okay, that's this guy. So, you think he fears children? I think he loves children, and not in that way. I think he just isn't afraid to use them as a narrative device. For better or worse. This game sucks. It does. This, you know, I mean, like, as a game, it functions. But is it fun? No. But the cutscenes, oh my god, the cutscenes. Great. If you like to watch freak NPCs like me, go watch it on YouTube. Don't play the game. I'll save you the time and the effort. It's the thing with the CDI Zelda games and Hotel Mario. You can just YouTube the cutscenes and get 99% of the enjoyment. Okay? So just do that. Don't play it. It's not worth playing. Trust me. They're not. They are very dull. So, I actually like Link more than I like Zelda. I think Zelda's game is worse. Why? So Zelda is... They're both developed in tandem. Zelda is supposed to be the sequel. She has, like, less mechanics in her playthrough. Link has annoying grinding. That grinding really fucking sucks. But Zelda's is, like, so dry. They both have problems. Most certainly. But I think Zelda is worse. Also, Zelda has less funny NPCs. Those are mostly all, like, old, weird women. So, yeah. I think... Where do they go? I think Zelda is worse than Sonic Boom. Is Zelda worse than Drake? No, it's not. So Link is worse than Devil's Turd. Is it worse than Sub-Zero? Yeah. There were definitely times when I was playing Link, I thought about pleading for death. So, I mean, same with Sub-Zero, but, you know, at least Sub-Zero was kind of novel, right? And no part of the Legend of Zelda CDI games is novel. It's so standard crap. But they're funny. Hotel Mario. So some people are like, oh, I distinctly remember a comment that's like, this game's not that bad with save states. Buddy, that's not how the game is intended to be played, right? Or you have to factor that in, right? I'm not out here rating Drakengard like a 9 because I played it with save states. No. Because I knew it would be fucking awful without save states. You know what I'm saying? You have to factor that in. It's okay that you use it, but also, like, that's not how the game was envisioned, right? So, I do think it's better than the Zelda CDI games. But later levels are just like a clusterfuck. I couldn't even tell you what the fuck was going on in like that cloud level. This game really pissed me off. In terms of games that pissed me off on this list, it's probably Mythologies and Hotel Mario. And the CDI games. The Zelda CDI games. Those games really got under my fucking skin. Is it worse than... I think it's worse than Mind's Eye. Is it worse than Balan Wonderworld? I think it is. It sucks. It's awful. Almost dreadful. It's borderline dreadful. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, CDI gotta have one of the worst fucking game collections out there, dude. While we're doing CDI, let's get the other 2 CDI games I played. 3, I guess. 4? I did play 4. So Laser Lords. This game is really not that bad. This was like a weird, like, adventure game. There's a game that came out, let's see. I think it's Unpleasant. It's like Hymns of something. It's only a couple years old at this point. Hymns of... no, I don't know what it is. But it's also sort of a language-based game. So I think it's interesting. That game would probably be decent with a guide if you knew what was going on. It's sort of just like an ugly adventure game. That's all it is. I think it's worse than both of those. But it's not that bad. It's by far the best CDI game that I played of the bad CDI games. You have to be careful getting into that discussion, I suppose. But, like, I'm not trying to judge people that play games their own way. That's fine. But you also have to say that when you're discussing it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be like, oh yeah, bro, like, Devil May Cry 5 was so easy. I'm like, wow, you're really good at games? And you're like, no, I put it on the easiest difficulty and I used a trainer. Okay, well then we don't have the same perspective. We can't have a discussion, right? I mean, I guess you can broadly, but you gotta have the same baseline at least. So, I don't know. Dark Castle, this game fucking sucks. This honestly, I don't even have to think. I know it's worse than all of those so far. Is it worse than Superman? I don't know. But it is fucking bad. I don't think I've ever played a game that is like so intentionally unresponsive. You know, like sometimes I'm like, oh, they're just incompetent, right? Like they didn't program it, you know, like there's a bug. Like Superman's buggy, and that's why it's unresponsive. Dark Castle is like intentionally unresponsive. And you're like, oh, it's tank controls. It's not, because like Dark Castle is the only game I've seen where if you move your character towards a wall, he will be stunned because he walks into it. Like the character you're playing as is like a fucking QWOP character. Like doesn't even know how to like walk or go downstairs or like fall a few feet without just like getting stunned and ragdolled. And then you have to use like the directional pad to like slowly lift your arm up and down to throw rocks at a shitty arc. It is. And then like the design of the castle is like so confusing. It is like the most pointless game ever made, I think. I don't think it was designed to invoke any feelings of like joy or any feelings at all other than annoyance. It's an annoying game from start to finish. It's not immersive in any way. It's just it's like, you know, in a cartoon where a character like steps on a hoe and it like hits them in the face. That is an entire fucking game. Every step you take is just a hoe to the face. It's pointless. It is. I think it's worse than Superman. I actually do. Just thinking about it is getting me pissed off. Like, it is that bad. It is that fucking bad. Like, Superman is fucking bad, but Dark Castle is... It's... At least Superman, like, you can control him. Not very well. You can't do that in Dark Castle. Like I said, it's like... I don't know. It's... I'm frowning just looking at the image of it. It's a Pavlovian fucking response that I'm having to the like 30 minutes I played of that game. I think anybody who has finished that game might be like a serial killer in real life, because I used to think I had a lot of patience for like games, bad things. That is... It's... I don't think there are words in the English language to describe how bad that game is. I really don't. It's... I would say you need to experience it, but you don't. Just trust me and don't fucking play it. Because it's not even funny bad. It's just bad. It's bad, and it's pointless, and it's ugly, and it's stupid. It's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. I think that's also... Yeah, that's the CDI game. This is what I mean. The CDI has such bad fucking games. And then we had this weird roller coaster thing, right? The fuck was this even called? Like, Manic Mystery something... I can't remember. Can I, like... Phantom Express. This game... was, like, not good. Mystic Midway. It's on this tier somewhere. It's just like a rail shooter, like you're in a roller coaster and you shoot like JPEGs that fly across, but it just like shit talks you the whole time. It's like, haha, you're a fucking failure, idiot. And then you just like shoot representations of various levels of human life. So like as a baby, you like shoot your parents who are like, I didn't want to have kids. And then like as an adolescent, you shoot kids who are like, you're a dork. And then, you know, you as an adult, you shoot ones of like your wife who's like, you didn't put the lid down on the toilet, because apparently that's like the most awful thing an adult man can experience, apparently. And then you get divorced in the next one. It's just, it's stupid. I think the concept of like a psychological horror rail shooter is interesting, but this was not it. This was not it at all. I think Mind's Eye is better. I think Bullian is better. But Hotel Mario is worse. So, okay. And then Zelda's Adventure. Honestly, this game is like a surrealistic masterpiece. Again, not good, but I can appreciate its atmosphere and strangeness. It's like a top-down, almost like Diablo style camera, but you just, you know, it's still a 2D Zelda at the end of the day, but you encounter like really bizarre NPCs. It's kind of really bizarre atmosphere. It's very Lynchian. I think that's why I'm so gravitated towards it, because it's so strange. It's a trip. I think some people are gonna find this really boring, and that's fine. But it reminds me a lot of that claymation game I played, Jotaro. It reminds me a lot of that, which just has like a very weird, ethereal, like what the fuck is happening kind of experience. So, you know, I softened to it. I don't know if I would ever finish that game, but I kind of liked what I played. And then that's the end of CDI. It's time for The Quiet Man. Yeah. This game sucks. Game sucks because it's basically an FMV game, which isn't necessarily like a bad thing. But here's the thing, right? They thought they were being really artistic and decided to... The lead is deaf, so all of the cutscenes, all of the fights are muted or with very soft, like, sounds. So characters will approach your main character and talk to them, even though they know he's deaf, and will just speak like I am right now. And so you spend the entire, like, 2 hours going, what's going on? What's happening? Oh, and then he's like getting in these really weird fist fights. It's a bizarre game. But the more bizarre thing is you beat it, and then you unlock New Game Plus. What's New Game Plus in The Quiet Man, you ask? You unlock sound. You literally fucking unlock the ability to listen to the fights and cutscenes you just experienced. It is so fucking stupid. It's not good. It's not good. Unfortunately, one of my favorite artists, Imogen Heap, did the credits song for that game. I feel so bad for her. It's a good song too. They contacted her, were like, hey, here's the concept for our game. You play as like a deaf person and you discover like your past and all this stuff. She wrote this really pretty song about like being able to hear for the first time after not being able to hear, and it's attached to this fucking piece of shit. Like, man, what the fuck? Yeah, and it's mostly in black and white too, so it's ugly. So that it's a mixed game, so it's not all FMV. Sometimes you're playing in like in engine, and then it'll show an FMV. It's pretty bad. I'm trying to think. I might have to rearrange some of these. Because I have a lot up here in shit. I think The Quiet Man is definitely shit. Is Sonic Boom shit? Or is it dreadful? I think it might be dreadful. The very edge of dreadful. Look at that. Big upgrades. It's still horrendous, but I don't know if it's quite as bad as some of these titles up here. Is The Quiet Man worse than Wand of Gamelon? I have to seriously think. I don't know. It's such a bizarre game. And also, like, the worst part is when you get New Game Plus, you discover just how bad the plot is. Because that's kind of like one of the most resonant things about the game, is you're like, oh, what's going on? What's happening? You're trying to piece it together. And then when you have, like, all the dialogue and all the story, you're just like, oh, it's just racist. It's bad, man. It's bad. No, I think it should be in shit. It might be on the edge of shit, though. Like, is Zelda better? I don't know. I think it's on the edge of shit. Good for you. Good for you being on the edge of shit. And that leaves our final game after almost 2 hours of yapping. That's good. I wasn't sure how long I'd be able to... Although, before we do Devil May Cry, I want to see if there's any gems about The Quiet Man. There has to be, right? Oh my god, I completely forgot. The audio, like New Game Plus, was added in a patch after release. So they didn't even commit to the quiet bit. That's insane. That is so artistically bankrupt that I'm pissed off just reading that. At the very least, if it was in the release, I'd be like, okay. They did it, like, in response to Backlash. Jesus. Players have the option of punching, kicking, and evasion. To give an insight of the game's concept, a series of planned producer letters were posted on the game's Twitter account. The first one, dated July 2nd, 2018, explains the power of, quote, words. I love the power of words. A group of comic book writers create the Quiet Man's story. The studio is known for Ben 10, Bakugan, and Big Hero 6. That's fucking insane. See, this is why you gotta read into this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and again, it's kind of ableist too. You can tell they didn't really get, like, any deaf people as consultants, because the way they portray the main character is so stupid. It's like infantile, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's deaf, he can't, his brain doesn't work. You know, deaf people can still think and extrapolate and use their eyes and other senses, right? So stupid. And then we have Devil May Cry 2. This game definitely fucking sucks. It definitely fucking sucks. Didn't get super far in it, admittedly, but I played enough to get an idea, right? Easily the worst Devil May Cry game, and probably the worst character action game that I know of. Or at least, you know, biggest, most popular character action game. And it's just, it's a lot like Devil's Third in that it's just boring. It's monotonous, it's dull, it's boring, it's lifeless. Which is kind of the antithesis of Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is supposed to be this kind of dark, loud, stylish, ultra-violent, corny, like, early 2000s action flick. And Devil May Cry 2 is just, like, so self-serious. It's just... blah. It's blah. But it is funny. It is funny. But where does it go? It's somewhere around here. It's probably better than Devil's Third. That's a good tier list, I think. Let me look it over again. Again, we're going from left to right, so left is the closest to that top, and then right is... It's like a staircase, right? So most shit would be Dark Castle, and then least shit is Quiet Man, right? So... like, Zelda sucks, but does it suck that much more than Link? I don't really think so. I think it's probably more like this, to be honest. They're really not that different. That feels better. Yeah. That sucks. That's... I'm just gonna say this for all the games. That sucks. That sucks. It's just... if you were a CDI game, man, you just sucked. You just sucked. I mean, there was some less suck. But... yeah... I think Mind's Eye's a hair better than Corpse Killer. It's still shit, but... is Zelda's Adventure better than Quest 64? Yes, yeah. My entertainment-wise, yes it is. Okay, yeah, I think that's the final list. Get your screenshots out. Call me a bitch, whatever. I'm gonna screenshot it, because this will be a great resource for if I have a second off August, and then I can add to it. See, very top heavy. I mean, I did specifically seek out some of the worst games of all time. So, die! So it's not surprising, you know. There were a few surprises. So Dong Dong and Drakengard were games I was just kind of interested in and knew they were kind of like, alright. So I'm not surprised that they weren't that bad. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to throw like one or two of those in. But yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that. Hope you had fun. Hope you have a great 3-day weekend. I know I'm going to. Thanks for hanging out. If you have any shitty game ideas, let me know. I'll add them to the mega list. So starting next week, we'll be back to normal. Just normal games for a month. And then October's horror month. So a lot of horror games. And I had to move a good chunk of shitty games to horror month as in the pool. So we're not quite out of the clear yet. Okay? Just so you know. I don't know how many of those I'll play, but they're in the running. Shitty horror games can be some of the funniest ones. So keep that in mind. But that's it for me. Might play Shinobi Monday. I don't know. We'll see. I know there's some stuff I gotta catch up on. But anyways, have a nice rest of your weekend. Thanks for hanging out, and see ya maybe Monday. I haven't decided if I'll stream Monday since it's holiday. Monday or Tuesday. I'll let you know. But okay. See you then. Take care. Toodaloo. Bye. Don't play shit games. Let me do it instead.